Is this
But
person is this person like trans or is this just a
nope.
no? This the one I'm talking about the commentator, not the
No.
okay. I don't know
But
nowadays.
I could see how you make that mistake. There's a crazy person named Critical K. Karen Yax is her name. It's not me doxing her. Her name is public record. Karen Yax, Critical K. She has a banned YouTube channel. She is a ban evading YouTuber in the true crime space. And she's an absolute fucking imbecile who spends her time doxing people, harassing them, defaming them. And then when she does this enough, she gets sued. She gets sued, and then the real idiocy begins because she's fat and broke and can't actually afford any of what she says. She doesn't have any capital to back up her words. She doesn't have any truth either. But she is being sued by a woman named Ray Andracchio. Now, the reason that Karen Yax is on my radar at all, or that I even know that Critical K exists, is because of the Michael Long, Sophie Long, Kelly Long situation that popped off a couple years ago, in which a little girl was supposed to go back to her mom. Her parents were split up, was supposed to go back to her mom, and was filmed on a viral video, screaming, crying, resisting going back because of the abuse she feared at the hands of her mother and her mother's boyfriend, who turns out to be a real fucking dirtbag on his own. A custody battle would ensue. PR firms get involved. Shady court stuff happens to the point where no one can actually know what's going on in this situation. What we do know is there's some deeply wounded people and a couple children in the mix who are all in danger during this scenario. So I was covering this scenario, and Critical K, Karen Yax, was on the other side of it. She was on Kelly Long's side, where I was on the side of, I don't know if Michael is solid, but I know that Kelly is fucking crazy. Well, she doesn't like that. She didn't like my opinions. She has called me a pedophile for daring to cover the case, to give Michael an interview that apparently made me a pedophile, according to her. You'd sue someone if they had anything to take, but they don't. Plus, she's already being sued, and that would be a superior claim by Ray Andracchio. Ray Andracchio is a woman whose son was murdered, according to her. Police ruled it a suicide, and she has been pushing for the truth because it's a very suspect circumstances around that. It was kind of big in the Wine Mom true crime era of YouTube, and that's kind of what's been going on with that situation. She's been sued over statements she made about Ray Andracchio, and rather than actually fight them, she has decided to just tell the court that she can't be sued. So, yeah. Okay, here we go. So this is from today. This is fresh. This is fresh off the presses. This is a lady named Critical K. All right. And this is a 7-minute clip from her YouTube video today, her live stream that happened during this. This is contemporary action.
This is today, so this is breaking. This isn't any of that old
wasn't
stuff.
Just today. This is while we were talking.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, you've got like network. You've got people sending you stuff as it happens, right?
Yeah, I'm grabbing stuff out of the ether.
You are the man.
Here we go. So this is title is Critical K Seeds about Nick. Here we go. This is my man Spectre. Grabbed this one for me. So here we go. Let's see what she says.
What is this?
Here.
I do not, Lauren X. Edwards, I do not collaborate with him. And he's like obsessed with me right now. It's for some reason. It's really gross.
Wait, who is?
Who is? You?
Never collaborated with him. He's a horrible person.
Wait, is this me?
I would never collaborate with him. But he's like obsessed with me right now. And I don't know why. It's weird because it's been like over a month since I even said his name.
Who?
I think she's talking about me.
Like, I don't know what triggered him.
Okay, so the background story. This is this chick named Critical K. Her name is Karen Yaks, and she's a true crime podcaster.
Mm.
The problem with her is that she says a bunch of lies about people, and she's being sued by a woman named Ray Andracchio.
Yeah, you've told me
Yeah, I
about
mentioned this at the beginning of the
Right.
stream.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is her, huh?
So when she says it's been a month since she said my name, when she said my name, she called me a pedophile because I had a guy on my show whose daughter was being swept up in some CPS bullshit, and he had what he considered medical proof that she was being sexually abused by the mother and the mother's boyfriend. He took her into a clinic. They did the full on effectively a rape kit, right? A rape kit, by the way, people don't realize like a rape kit isn't like a swab or something. It's an inventory of questions that they go through with a purported victim to see if they're actually a victim of some sort of sexual violence. And there can be some medical tests involved in that, but like it's more about their testimony, because you can do a rape kit later than the event when things might not be as apparent, but the trauma and the way they answer questions can matter. So we went through the test results, which show, according to that clinic, clear sexual assault on this child. And it was ignored by the court, just completely ignored. They did not accept this thing. And then not only that, they went on to say that the dad never took care to see if the child was actually in any danger and stuff. It was really a weird case. Okay. But the dad gave me the documents. I'm interviewing the dad. We went through them on stream. Red Banyan, who's a PR firm, was involved in this, a big PR firm that Amber Heard had hired at one point even. They were involved in this. They were, I believe, they were involved in taking down my video through a privacy complaint, even though I had consent of the father of the child to talk about these medical documents. It didn't matter. YouTube didn't give a shit. They took that video down. But that's why she called me a pedophile, is because we went through the medical records of the child. Now there's no pictures of the child, but there are some descriptions in there of violence against her, which was kind of horrible. But that's reality. Like you know this because you deal with law and you deal with the ugly side of humanity. So do I. And we don't shy away from that on the channel just because of someone's sensibilities. Reality is ugly sometimes. So I went through that. That's why she hates me. Since then, I've mentioned her, I think 0 times until tonight. And the only reason I'm mentioning her is because she's getting blown out in her lawsuit, that her defamation lawsuit against her, because she's an idiot who just keeps trying to tell the state of Mississippi that they have no jurisdiction over. And they're like, no, we do.
Jurisdiction. This is a Brooks defense. I don't know if that's the defense that I would lie on with. I mean, if she's the jurisdiction, once it's established, it's kind of over. I mean, you can do it on appeal, but you kind of like have to move on from that. If the courts determine jurisdiction, then now you got to defend the suit, right?
Yeah. Once you do that, and she's told the court several times that she just doesn't have the money to defend it, Steve. So she shouldn't have to. Here, let's hear what she has to say, though. Here we go.
All right. Sorry.
I don't know what Burr climbed in his BVDs over me, but for some reason he's got himself all twisted up in a knot.
I'm not twisted up in a knot. I'm laughing at you.
Not sure why.
Because you're losing your lawsuit in hilarious fashion.
The only thing I've ever said about him is he humiliated a little girl by reading her medical records. He called her mother the C word.
Her mother's a cunt.
Oh my God. There's the C word.
11-year-old little girl.
Oh, let me be very clear. Kelly Long is an absolute cunt.
Okay, well.
She violated court orders.
How are you defining this exactly? Is this a legal definition?
Her boyfriend at the time is a guy named Jacob. God, it's been a long time. Kiwi Farms, Ken Jennings, can you help me out? What is Jacob? My brain goes to Wetterling because I'm in Minnesota. It's not Jacob, but I think it's a W. What was Jacob's name, Ken? Bellington. Thank you. Siren Jag. Jacob Bellington is her boyfriend at the time. Jacob Bellington is a real piece of work, very connected in the community, seems to have gotten out of a lot of actual trouble without questions being asked, without trials, without court intervention. But Jacob Bellington, or Kelly Long, court ordered to keep the kids away from Jacob Bellington. What does she do? Takes the kids to Jacob Bellington. They ride around in go-karts, flips the go-karts. One of the little boys gets his arm broken, put in direct danger by this person who's unstable. And you know, nothing ever happens to her. That's the thing. Nothing ever happens to this woman who consistently put her kids in danger throughout this entire process. It was really like, and she, I don't know how to say it. She's a cunt. And when I say put the kids in danger, the boys were in physical danger. Sophie was in sexual danger. There's lots of documentation about it. That the court ignored it does not convince me that it didn't happen, because the doctors are convinced that it happened.
Yeah, but the logic here is because you're reading a medical report that documents something that actually happened. You're the bad guy.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's actually it. Yes, correct.
That is freaking bizarre. Like, let's analyze this for a second. So I'm going to read the autopsy reports of the murder victims in Idaho. I'm the bad guy, not the murderer.
Yes. That's the logic here. Let's see what's next. Here we go.
His mother has begged him to take down his live streams where he reads her medical records. He refuses to.
His mother did not beg me to take them down. His mother's attorney demanded that I take them down and threatened me with an ethics complaint, of which my video of my response to her email is still up. Fuck you, bitch. You want to threaten me? I will destroy your dumbass all over. She sent me a cease and desist, Steve.
Well, but this is a public record?
The
document that you read?
So the document that I read, first of all, Kiwi Farms Ken Jennings got this document from the court clerk.
Oh, that's public record then.
I got the document. I think it was subsequently sealed.
Okay.
I got the document prior to sealing and broadcast it prior to sealing from the dad who had the record. So yes, I legally obtained this document. I had the consent of the owner of the document. The mother refuses to acknowledge the document because she claims that it's fake or that it's not accurate.
But see, how is this not just reporting?
Of course it's reported. Like it's full First Amendment protection.
Yeah, I mean, this is called public interest reporting, I think. I mean, if you were the New York Times, expose 60 Minutes, there wouldn't be any question at all, would there?
No, not a single shred of it.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I'm probably going to re-upload that video.
Okay, all right.
It's been a long time since it's been down, but now that someone's pissed off about it, I'll re-up. It was a really good interview. I don't know that Michael Long. Here's the problem with Michael. He's a really interesting guy, and I do believe that in his mind he was acting in the best interest of his daughter. But he was acting in violation of court orders, and he's facing a lot of prison time for it. But I also, as a dad, understand that perspective that the court is telling you to put your child in danger. Mm-hmm. And he says, no, I'd rather take my kid to Mexico, right, where she's not going to be in danger. Ugh. And that's as an attorney, that's a really fine line to walk, right? Because we're supposed to respect the courts. So Ken Jennings says, Critical K has repeatedly called Sophie, this is the daughter, a brat, and that she was lying and that she was lying so much. There's a 5.5 minute compilation video of her saying those things.
He's like a bratty little kid. Talk about brats. Some kids are freaking brats. Do 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 do. And I'm hearing brat, like in my mind, I'm like, brat, shut up, you fucking brat. She's a brat. Screaming with her little cowboy boots. That's a bratty scream. Wow, what a fucking brat. She's a fucking brat. She's an out of control, oppositional, defiant brat. And I don't believe anything she's saying. I feel like she's lying. She's a brat. She's behaving like a brat. So calling a brat is a derogatory term.
Well, I would say, is that a negative connotation?
Well, I mean, don't we call bratty children? And it's ironic that his child is a brat.
So the victim in this case, Sophie Long, she has repeatedly said that the little child is lying and is a brat, is nasty. Here we go.
And he's clearly hates me.
I don't hate you. I just laugh at you.
Dismantled Michael Long. And Michael Long's reign of terror.
First of all,
against his
okay,
ex-wife.
I've never seen a single
And
piece
these
of
people
content you've
are
created
pissed off
before this.
That Michael Long's ex-wife has all of her children back.
She should
She's
not.
happy. They're happy.
I doubt that. By the way, real
Their
quick,
lives are
Can I critique the stylistic as a PowerPoint presenter myself? This long block of text on the thing is not working. This is not the way you do a presentation. Is anybody going to read that?
No. But here's the other thing. I talked to Sophie. I talked to the little girl while I didn't know where they were, but Michael had her. I talked to him and I talked to her. She was happy. She was safe. She was smiles. Everything looked on the up and up. So to tell me that she went back to her mom and she's happy, maybe I don't buy it for a second. I know the bias of Critical K. I'm not biased towards Michael. I'm biased against Kelly for sure, but I don't know that Michael's the right guy either. He gave me some weird vibes. I think he lied about some stuff in our interview. I've talked about that before too, but it doesn't really matter because I can empathize with a dad who believes he's keeping his child safe, even if he's wrong on it. But I don't think he was wrong on this one. At the time of this incident, the child was not safe with the mother. And that's clearly apparent because one of the brothers who was with the mother got injured at the hands of the mother's boyfriend against a court order.
Well, sometimes there's no good options. You know, this is why judges hate family court, because sometimes maybe there's a pox on all houses, right? Both parties are playing dirty. I don't know this case in particular, but
yeah, that could be the case.
You don't know, and it's very difficult looking outside and trying to figure these out. And that's why you look at things like reports and independent. You're trying to find the truth, right? Isn't that the exercise of a journalist or somebody who's looking at these things, or at least entertainment?
I'm trying to protect a kid who is obviously traumatized by having to go back to her mom's house, complained of sexual assault and abuse. There's a doctor's report documenting the sexual assault and abuse. I'm pretty convinced at that point. I'm not a judge in this case.
Is this person like trans, or is this just a?
Nope.
No. I'm talking about the commentator, not the.
No.
Okay. I don't know.
But
nowadays,
I can see how you make that mistake.
There's the shoulders are awful. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Nowadays, I have to ask these things because.
Right. Yeah. Because you would it's 2022. It's not even the fact that she kind of looks like a man.
Well, also people that kind of get obsessive like this and kind of act like this, there's some mental disturbance going on.
Yes.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's getting too late. I'm tired. Jeez. Let's get through this.
Wonderful. They're happy to all be back together as a family.
No one can verify this. It's just a complete baseless
and
assertion.
He's mad about that. And Michael Long is sitting in a jail cell.
I have not talked about Michael and Sophie Long probably
charges.
in 2 years.
And facing
I laugh at
many
your
years in
lawsuit
prison.
against Ray and Dracula.
I didn't tell him to kidnap her. I didn't tell him to make false accusations.
First of all, nothing about the accusations have been shown to be false. He was charged with violating a court order. The kidnapping is not, I don't think he actually has a kidnapping charge. I think it was still in violation of the court order to produce a child. I have dealt with actual kidnapping cases between parents that have not been resolved in this nice, expeditious way, where there was a clear kidnapping, a clear lack of rights, and everybody just goes, oh, well, wash your hands. You look into this case and you watch the, I think it's Collin County, where Dallas, a suburb of Dallas, Collin County, Texas. You start looking into the Collin County courthouse and its family law division, and you will find cases like Michael and Sophie Long everywhere. And you will find the same guardian ad litems.
Right.
The guardian ad litem in this case acted not only as guardian, but also as attorney in direct violation of the law.
Yeah, but they can't get anybody to do it. And they pay junk. They don't pay any money.
Yep.
So nobody's doing it. So this is very typical of this type of court. I hate to be cynical about it, but it's a disaster. I mean, what goes on in these family courts, it's tough. I mean, there's sometimes there's just no good resolution. Nobody can get it right 100% of the time. Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, I can.
I certainly didn't tell Nick to read. At Levi Page, you're one of many who has said that to me, that they liked him until he defended Michael Long.
I didn't defend Michael Long.
And see, this is what happens with some people, and it happens with lawyers too. They get committed and married to certain opinions and quote beliefs.
Nope.
And anything that challenges those opinions and beliefs is for them like throwing holy water on a vampire. It makes them angry.
Clearly, you've never watched Twilight, you dummy.
That's the sign of low emotional intelligence. Emotionally intelligent people have the humility to learn to admit when they're wrong, when their opinion was wrong.
Who is this person?
Their opinion when new information is presented to them.
No new information has been presented to ever convince me that Kelly Long was a fit parent.
Which way to feel about Michael Long? All I did was present the other side. And I think Rekieta Law thinks like I beat him or something. I mean, I don't know how else to look at it.
Oh, you dummy. Look, I said I wasn't gonna say anything, or I wasn't gonna pause it again. Woman, I am a narcissist. Do you think there's nobody on earth who has ever beaten me at anything? I could lose in a sporting event and consider myself the victor. So I definitely don't think that.
Yeah, I will say that just as a passive observer here, at no point during this entire conversation did I ever think, gee, Nick is upset because he thinks he beat her. That is 180 degrees. There's a lot of projection going on here.
The funniest thing is, like, my current topic about her had nothing to do with Sophie and Michael Long and everything to do with how retarded her legal documents are in this Ray Andracchio defamation case, where she just keeps writing random letters to the court saying, no, I don't have to show up. And now she's facing sanctions and default.
She's representing herself in a lawsuit. Okay, that's stupid right there.
Yeah.
Well, and what is her job? What does she do?
I guess this. I don't know if she has another job. That's the thing. Like, I barely know anything about her. I just think that the lawsuit against her, my friend is the lawyer in the case against her.
See, this is the problem. This is
only
part of it.
Reason I'm interested in it.
Anybody can get, I guess, and broadcast and have a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
and that's what happens is that, there's no weeding. There's no weeding of the fields of chaff from the chaff. Right?
Well, there is. I mean, this isn't the most fair, but subscriber count is an indicator, because subscriber count often has to do with catching waves and stuff like that.
Okay.
Her wave was Sophie Long, and she still wasn't able to capitalize on it because she's just not interesting. But that being said, the only reason I talk about her at all is because my friend is the lawyer suing her.
Okay.
And it's consistently hilarious. Her like insistence that the state of Mississippi has, I think it's Mississippi, has she says that they just can't possibly ask her to come to court because she just doesn't have any money, and that's not fair. And it's like, that doesn't That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And so now she just refused to go to court. She's going to get defaulted on it. She'll probably get sanctioned for refusing to comply with discovery as well. And it's like, you're self-owning all over the place. That's why I'm laughing. I don't even care about the Michael and Sophie Long stuff anymore. The story's over. Michael's going to prison. I mean, I would like to see a real appeal, but based on everything we've seen so far in the Michael Long case, it kind of looks like a really corrupt Collin County family court system. And I've gotten several lawyers, guardian ad litems, and other people from Collin County when I was covering this saying, you have no idea how bad it is here. No idea how terrible this is. The corruption is obvious. The corruption is rampant. But
it's very difficult. I mean, I have a lot of sympathy for these, for what that's trying to be done, what's being asked of these courts, and what is the staffing, the lack of information.
Let me stop you right here. Me stop you right here. This judge, in this case, Cynthia Wheelis, her husband was the chief judge who assigned judges to the case, assigned his wife to the case. She sealed the case. Guess who leaked sealed documents to the pro Kelly Long Facebook group? The chief judge, Judge Wheelis, leaked documents in this case to the pro Kelly Facebook group so that they would have information. Went in there, he's like, "Hey, you guys want to know about this? I'm the senior judge in this division. My wife is the judge on the case." He goes in, he leaks the documents straight to him.
That should be, isn't that a disqualification motion?
You would think. And they Michael filed motion. Michael's attorney, who I've talked to, by the way, his attorney before he ended up having to be pro se, because his attorney dropped it because of the harassment she was getting for her role as defending this guy. I talked to her. She's like, they filed motions to recuse. They had the proper basis for recusal. And just shockingly, nothing ever happened with it. Just couldn't get the judges recused. Then eventually the judge ended up recusing herself and fleeing the state.
What?
Yes, the judge fled the state of Texas because she feared retribution over her actions in the case. And then they appointed a new judge, and the new judge directly violated the state statute on appointment because he had zero family law experience as a judge or an attorney. And in Texas, if you're going to be appointed as a judge in a family law case, you must have as a specialty, either in your practice or as a specialty in your judgeship, family law experience. He had none.
Who appointed him?
Judge Wheelis.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, it's like there was clear, documentable statutory violations going on from the court.
I have similar stories that are not near as entertaining, but that are similar corruption that I could tell you about off the air. And sadly, I don't know. I mean, people have lost it. What happened to fair judging? Let's just I'm talking as a theoretical. So you have put me in my place properly, and properly so.
No, but you can't, you haven't followed this. You don't know, like you couldn't possibly know, because it's ridiculous to say that you would have a husband and wife judge team where the husband is the superior judge of the district, who assigns his wife to the thing, who assigns the same two guardian ad litem she assigns to every case, to every family law case. They're always deferential to the mother in every single family law case. They get paid a ton of money. She allows them to act as so there's two guardian ad litems in this case. One is supposed to act as a guardian ad litem / attorney. The other one is supposed to act as a guardian ad litem advocate. The advocate wrote motions as an attorney and filed them in court, directly violating Texas state statutes. The judge, the appointment of, the leaking of the documents by the chief judge was investigated by the State Bar of Texas. I believe they just decided that he wasn't in, or that they maybe gave him an admonishment, but not anything beyond that. She ends up recusing herself, fleeing the state, and then his new appointment. And he may have recused himself after appointing. I can't remember, but his new appointment directly violated the state statutes. I went through all of this on video. You couldn't have known that this happened because this should never happen this way. Even if Michael Long is 100% guilty and Kelly Long is a fucking angel, what happened in the courts in this case was a travesty of the court system. I was just talking with Steve about, how this whole thing worked out, what a mess it was. But really what it comes down to is uncertainty. We don't know if Michael Long is right. We don't know if Kelly Long is a cunt or just a bitch. She's a cunt. We don't know what's going on with that. What we do know is that there's a whole bunch of information that we will never have because the process failed.